Retirement reality check: how much you actually need and when to quit working. What if I told you that the retirement number financial advisors have been selling you is likely double or even triple what you actually need? Picture this. John and Mary diligently saved for 40 years, postponing vacations, skipping family events, and working overtime to reach their magic number of $2 million. They finally retired at 67, flush with cash but exhausted, only to discover they were spending just $42,000 annually while their portfolio was generating over $120,000. Meanwhile, their health had begun to decline, making the dream trips they'd planned physically impossible. This isn't just John and Mary's story. It's happening to millions of Americans who are working years longer than necessary because they've been fed misleading information about how much money they truly need in retirement. Today, I'm going to reveal the retirement planning secret that the financial industry doesn't want you to know. A secret based on actual spending data from real retirees, not theoretical models designed to sell you more investment products. This approach has allowed thousands of my clients to retire 5 to 10 years earlier than they thought possible, with complete financial security. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes, because I'll show you exactly how much you need to retire comfortably at 55, 60, 65, or 70, based on real-world spending patterns, not inflated projections. I'll also share the 3-phase retirement strategy that could potentially cut years off your working life while maintaining your lifestyle. Number 1, the retirement spending reality. The conventional wisdom says you need to replace 80% of your pre-retirement income to maintain your lifestyle. But when we look at actual spending data collected from thousands of retiree households, a completely different picture emerges. According to comprehensive research from the Employee Benefit Research Institute and Fidelity Investments, retiree spending doesn't remain flat. It typically declines by about 20% in your 70s and another 20–30% in your 80s. This isn't about sacrifice or reduced quality of life. It's simply the natural evolution of spending as we age. The data reveals 3 distinct spending phases in retirement. The go-go years, typically ages 60 to 70. This active phase features the highest spending with travel, hobbies, and an energetic lifestyle. For a typical middle-class household, spending during this phase averages about $65,000 to $70,000 annually. The slow-go years, ages 70 to 80. Activity levels naturally decrease. Travel becomes less frequent and less adventurous. Home-based hobbies increase. Spending typically decreases to around $55,000 annually. The no-go years, 80+, most retirees spend significantly more time at home. Transportation costs plummet, entertainment expenses decrease, and overall spending often drops to $40,000 to $45,000 annually, excluding extraordinary healthcare costs, which we'll address separately. To illustrate this, consider Martha, a 75-year-old retired school administrator who tracks her spending meticulously. When I retired at 62, my husband and I were spending about $68,000 a year, she told me. We were traveling internationally twice yearly, dining out weekly, and constantly visiting our children across the country. Now at 75, we're spending about $52,000 annually. We still live in the same house and enjoy a good quality of life, but we travel less, cook at home more often, and have naturally transitioned to less expensive activities. It wasn't a conscious decision to reduce spending. Our lifestyle evolved, and our expenses decreased accordingly. Number 2, the Social Security leverage strategy. Understanding your Social Security options is perhaps the most powerful lever in retirement planning, yet most people claim benefits with minimal strategic thought. The difference between claiming at 62 versus 70 is enormous, approximately 76% more monthly income for life. For an average couple, that's the difference between receiving $28,800 annually versus $50,400 annually, an inflation-protected, government-guaranteed income stream that continues for life. This creates an interesting strategic opportunity I call the bridge strategy. Here's how it works. Instead of working until your full retirement age and claiming Social Security immediately, you retire earlier but delay your Social Security benefits, using a portion of your investments as a bridge until you begin claiming at a later age. For example, Michael, a 58-year-old client, had accumulated $850,000 in his retirement accounts. Traditional advisors told him he needed $1.5 million to retire at 62. But applying the bridge strategy, he retired at 58, used $275,000 of his portfolio to fund his lifestyle until age 70, and then began collecting maximum Social Security benefits. His remaining investments continued growing for 12 years without withdrawals. Today at 72, Michael has both maximum Social Security benefits and a larger investment portfolio than when he retired, despite not contributing for 14 years. More importantly, he enjoyed those active go-go years in his late 50s and 60s when his health and energy were at their peak. The math behind this strategy is compelling. For every year you delay claiming Social Security beyond full retirement age, your benefit increases by 8%. That's an instant, guaranteed, inflation-adjusted 8% return, far higher than what most conservative investments can deliver, especially in today's environment. Of course, this strategy isn't universal. Those with shorter life expectancies or immediate income needs might benefit from claiming earlier. But for most retirees with average or better longevity expectations, the bridge strategy creates extraordinary financial efficiency. Number 3, portfolio requirements by retirement age. Now let's get specific about exactly how much you need based on when you choose to retire. I'll break this down using realistic numbers for a typical middle-class American couple with no pension beyond Social Security. Retiring at 55 with the bridge strategy. If you retire at 55 and delay claiming Social Security until 70, you'll need approximately $900,000 total. Of this, about $450,000 to $500,000 serves as your bridge to fund spending until Social Security begins spring. The remaining $450,000 to $500 continues growing to fund your lifestyle beyond age 70. This approach requires approximately 35 to 40% less capital than traditional models suggest for retirement at 55, which typically recommend $1.5 to $2 million. Retiring at 60 with the bridge strategy. If you retire at 60 and delay claiming Social Security until 70, you'll need approximately $700,000 to $800,000 total. About $350,000 to $400 serves as your bridge to fund the 10-year gap. The remaining investments continue growing for future needs. This is roughly half of what traditional advisors typically recommend for a 60-year-old retiree. Retiring at 65. If you retire at 65 and claim Social Security immediately, you'll need approximately $400,000 to $500,000. Social Security will cover roughly 40 to 50% of your expenses immediately. Your investments need to cover the remaining 50 to 60%. This is significantly less than the $1 million plus typically recommended for 65-year-old retirees. Retiring at 70. If you retire at 70, having already maximized your Social Security benefits, you'll need just $250,000 to $300,000 in investments. Your maximized Social Security benefits will cover 60 to 70% of your expenses. Your smaller portfolio only needs to generate the difference. The key insight here is that by strategically timing your retirement and Social Security claims, you can potentially retire years earlier than you thought possible without sacrificing financial security. Consider Laura and David, both 63, who came to me believing they needed to work until 67 to reach their number. We discovered that by implementing the bridge strategy and accounting for realistic spending patterns, they could retire immediately with their existing $620,000 portfolio. They've now been retired for 2 years, traveling extensively and spending time with grandchildren, years of freedom they would have sacrificed under traditional planning approaches. Number 4, addressing the risks and concerns. Now let's address the obvious question. Isn't this approach risky? What about inflation, market volatility, healthcare costs, and longevity? These are legitimate concerns that deserve serious consideration. Here's how to address each. Inflation protection. Social Security benefits are inflation-adjusted annually. By maximizing this income source, you're creating a significant inflation-protected foundation. For the investment portion, maintaining an appropriate allocation to equities, even in retirement, provides additional inflation protection. Market volatility. The bridge strategy actually reduces sequence of returns risk. By separating your bridge funds, which should be invested conservatively, from your long-term growth investments, you create natural protection against having to sell investments during market downturns. Healthcare costs. Medicare begins at 65, regardless of when you retire. For early retirees, health insurance remains the biggest challenge. Solutions include maintaining coverage through a working spouse, utilizing ACA subsidies, which can be substantial for retirees managing their taxable income, or budgeting for direct purchase insurance during the gap years. Longevity risk. By maximizing Social Security benefits through delayed claiming, you're creating the highest possible guaranteed lifetime income floor. Combined with prudent investment management of your remaining portfolio, this approach actually provides stronger longevity protection than claiming early and relying more heavily on investments subject to market risk. The data supports this approach. Studies from Wade Pfau and Michael Kitces, leading retirement researchers, show that strategic Social Security claims combined with dynamic spending adjustments create sustainable retirement plans with significantly less capital than traditional models require. The retirement planning industry has a vested interest in making you believe you need more money than you actually do. Every additional year you work and save means more assets under management and more fees for financial institutions. I'm not suggesting that everyone should retire immediately. Working longer is absolutely the right choice for many people, particularly those who find meaning and purpose in their careers or need additional financial security. What I am suggesting is that you deserve an honest assessment of how much is truly enough based on real-world spending patterns and strategic benefit optimization, not theoretical models designed to maximize caution and fees. Whether you're 45 or 65, understanding these principles can transform your retirement timeline and give you greater confidence in your financial future. You might discover you're closer to financial independence than you ever imagined. Here are your 3 immediate action steps. Calculate your expected Social Security benefits at different claiming ages using the official SSA calculator. Track your actual expenses for 3 to 6 months to understand your true spending needs. Apply the phase-based spending model to determine your personalized retirement number. If this approach resonates with you and you'd like to dive deeper, I've created a free retirement calculator based on these principles, available through the link in the description. This tool will help you determine your personalized retirement number based on your specific circumstances and goals. Thank you for joining me today. If you found value in this perspective, please hit the like button to help others discover this message. Subscribe for more evidence-based retirement strategies that challenge conventional wisdom, and leave a comment sharing when you hope to retire. I respond personally to every comment. Until next time, remember that true retirement planning isn't about accumulating the largest possible nest egg. It's about optimizing what you have to create the freedom you deserve when you deserve it.